Today, what I'm doing is I'm installing new navigation lights on my boat. The other one's fried.
Hi, I'm Mary Beth, and this is Steven. Together, we are sailing through life on our sailboat Harmony with our dog Bernie. Join our adventures as we explore the East Coast and beyond by subscribing to our channel.
Today, what I'm doing is I'm installing new navigation lights on my boat. The other one's fried. They were so old. They were probably, actually they were, I'm sure they were original. Just looking at them. And the Voyage over here, they didn't quite make it. Salt water got in them, and we got water over the deck, over the top of the bow, and they were definitely not watertight. And they stopped working. I'm not sure how far into the voyage, but I know like the very last night before we got here, we were going to go underneath the bridge, and the bridge attendant, he said, "Hey, your navigation lights aren't working. I didn't know you were even there." And it's like, oh crap. So we had a spare one I had for my dinghy, which I threw in the bow, and we used that to get up here and do the rest of the way. But I opened up the navigation lights. I'll show you a picture of them, and they were totally some of the metal wasn't even there anymore, I believe. It just totally encrusted in oxidation. So I decided to replace them with LED lights, and I will show you how I did that on the starboard side, because the port side is essentially, I did the same exact thing. I think that was port side. Starboard's even worse. I don't think there's even any metal on that one side left. So what I needed to do, these are Helva, I think that's how you pronounce it, port and starboard navigation lights. The Pro, the ones that I think you can supposedly see them for, I think 2 miles, I think is the Coast Guard regulation, 2 or 3. On this side, the old wire was coming through here, down through this stanchion, down into here, underneath my deck, and then connected down here. I'll show you later. I wasn't able to get the old wire out without breaking it. So what I needed to do is, there's a lot of different things you could do. At first I looked for an electrical wire snake, I think they call them. But I couldn't find one that was small enough. So I said, okay. So then what you do, you improvise. So what I did is I found this 10 gauge wire here. I cut the sheath for the black wire, and then I cut the conductor, or the wire, back here. And that allowed me to put my wires, my conductors from my white wire, just slide them right into the sheath. And so that kept it really thin, and then just wrapped it in duct tape. And then I used Dawn, or actually I think it's palm olive, dishwashing liquid as a lubricant to help it go through that small hole. You don't want to use typically any type of organic or petroleum jellies, or a water-soluble soap works really well, because it's going to get wet anyway, and when I wash the boat, it's just going to wash the boat for me. So it makes the cleanup good too. So that's what I did there. So here's my 10 gauge wire. Here's the white wire, is the wire that I was feeding through. It goes from the top down to the bottom. And what I did is I fed this black wire up through the stanchion to pull it through, and I wrapped it in duct tape. And now I have my wire conductor from my starboard light, which is the right side, fed through. And then I have the one on this side, the port side, did essentially the same exact thing, except I was able to use the old wire, was still up in here, and I tied it. I did the same thing. I cut back the insulation, cut the conductors, fed the new wire into the insulation, and wrapped it so it's nice and small, and I was able to pull it through and do the same exact thing. And now I have my 2 wires down here, so now I can hook them up. This was the original conductor that was in the stanchion, and what I did is I cut that back, and I threaded my wires into the insulation. I did the same thing as I did on the other side, and then I cut the conductor back just so it could fit in there nice, and have a nice kind of the smallest diameter I could get to get it through a little hole in the stanchion. The old lights were regular incandescent light bulbs. I don't know what the wattage was on them. 15, 20, 25 watts, I'm thinking. And for those types of wattages, you need thicker cables. So these are 10 AWG conductors. And so that's what you need. You size the diameter of your conductor based on the length of wire that you run from your source, and other things too. There's because there's resistance, and you have to have a big enough wire to overcome that resistance without heating up the wire. So I am not sure, because I'm basically going to crimp or connect this tiny little wire here, which is, I don't know, maybe a 14, 16 gauge, to this 10 gauge wire. And I don't know if they make connections that do that, or if I should hook up some type of bus or something like that. But I don't really want to do that, because I want to keep everything up here watertight as much as possible. The reason this wire is so small is because these are LED lights, and they require much less current or amperage. I'm not sure what these run at, maybe 1 watt or something like that perhaps, because they're much more efficient. LEDs don't give off as much heat as regular incandescent lights do, so they're much more efficient, and you can run at a lower wattage. Now what I did is I just stripped the insulation back on this 10 gauge wire with my my insulation strippers, and I'm just going to put my butt on there, and then I'm just going to crimp it, and I'm going to do the same with the other side as well. So now what I'll do is I will heat shrink this tubing here, and then I'll heat shrink this tubing here. And I can't really show you because I only have 2 hands, but I'll show you when it's done. Here's one side that's been shrunk down, heat shrink tubing. As you can see how this is really yellow right here? I use as an indicator that it's done and that it's sealed when the red wire, if it was a red wire, for instance this is, it comes through and you can start to see more red than yellow. You can kind of see it seal. And then if you look at the edge, if you could see it, you can kind of see that it's kind of melted in the inside because it has glue on it. So that indicates a good seal. Okay, so I got the 2 butt connections made. The ones on the right, I'm very satisfied with. They're sealed. I know they're sealed. These, I'm not too happy with. They're okay. The one on the red's better than the one, the white, black wires here. They're not, I don't think they're sealed, but they're not going to pull apart. I might go get a step-down butt connection, but I don't know if you can get them for that small. I couldn't find them for a 10 to a, I think these are like a 16. They only go like from like 1 step down, so I don't know. But I'm going to leave them for now, and I'm going to go check the lights to see if they work. That'll be the deciding factor whether all this work paid off or not, or whether I have to do it over again. And I flip on my running lights, and if it doesn't flip back, I should be okay. Okay, let's go check them and see if they work. Hey, we have a port side light, and I just looked. We have a starboard side light as well. You can't see it in the video, but yeah, kind of can. Yay! They don't seem as bright as the other ones, but they're supposed to be able to be seen for, I think, 2 miles. So, success for the electrical. Now I just have to get it fix the lights so that they actually stay. Perfect. Now, another part of the installation is these lights are not original equipment. I don't know if you can even get original equipment. So they didn't fit the backing plates for them. So I had to drill some new holes, which was not too bad. It's important to have a sharp bit, or else you'll be drilling forever. It helps to start off with a smaller bit, just to get the hole all the way through, and then finish up with the size bit that you intend to use to get your screw through. That's another trick. Sometimes you can do one in between as well. Each bit really has its own revolution, RPM, on a drill that works best. And you really have to feel it. Feel the cutting of the metal as it's going on. If you spin it too fast, you're not going to cut anything. You're going to burn out your drill bit. So it's best to start off slow and then speed up until you kind of start to feel some cutting going on. And you'll feel the cutting. A really good sharp drill bit, well, actually you'll see the shavings come off it. if you have the perfect drill, I guess, experience, then you'll see like these curly cues coming off the drill bit in like one long line. It's actually kind of cool. But so I did that. So that's one trick. Another thing is to use, you can buy cutting oil, or like I think WD-40 kind of works too. It just keeps the drill from getting too hot, I think, and it helps cut the metal. I think that's it. Those are the three things that I used to kind of cut through this metal, was to use a couple different size bits. Start with a small one, go up to the larger one, the one that you want to actually get to. Use some cutting oil, regulate, have nice sharp bits, regulate your drill speed to the type of bit that you're using and the cutting speed. It seems like the smaller the bit, the faster you can go. And the larger the bit goes, the slower you go, and you can really feel that cutting. So pay attention to that cutting. And if you're not cutting, slow the bit down. Try that first. If that doesn't work, then you probably might need a new bit. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you found value in it. I really hope you found this enjoyable, useful, and I plan on doing more. So if you like them, like and subscribe. I also am going to include the link for the Hella lights on here, probably Amazon link. It's an affiliate link, so if you click on it, I get a little cut. I can't say that I can rate the lights for their longevity or anything yet at this point, but I did like the way they were installed. They're easy. I like that they're 3 nautical miles. I like that they're LEDs, low power. I like the fact that they are totally, the claim is, the manufacturer claims that they're totally sealed at the lens. And the biggest thing with my older lights is they weren't. So that's where they died. So those are what I like about these lights, and that's why I bought these lights. So I'm including a link on here to purchase them if you so desire and you find these lights useful. You guys have a great day. If you like this video, like it, subscribe, and I will see you again next time. Have a good day. Bye-bye.